These days, buyers are not that active in the market because of very high interest rates. Because of those higher interest, the monthly total payout comes to be very high, which they cannot sustain over a long period of time. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 properties which are available in the Triad marketplace, which are available for a lower pay because as a buyer, you should be able to assume the lower interest rate which the seller has. And most of the properties are actually the VA assumable loans, but there is one which is FHA loan, which I'm going to show you one by one. Stay tuned. All right, as you can see that there are 4 properties, one in Greensboro and then in Winston-Salem in this Triad area. So let's look at the first one. So this property, the one which is listed right now for $280,000. This house seems to be completely brand new. Like if you see the date in which it was built, I believe it was 2022 or 2023. Yes, this is built in 2023. And this house is available for this rate. And one great thing about this is this has a variable or assumable rate of 5.25%, which is FHA. That means if you are a first-time homeowner and if you have not bought any houses for primary residence in the last 3 years, this is a great way to become a homeowner with a very little monthly outflow. And I'll show you exactly how much you will end up in paying every month. And look into the quality of the house. This is almost brand new, like 2023, just 3 years old, with a fenced yard and the granite kitchen countertop. It definitely looks very nice and ready to move in. You don't need to do anything. Now, let me show you exactly how much you would end up in paying the mortgage and on a monthly basis, right? So let's consider that you have 20% down payment. And right now the interest rate here is the market rate shows 6.65%. But since this is assumable, and if you are qualified, if the lender qualifies you, it will be 5.25. So right now you can see it's 1822. If I make it 5.25%, it just drops $200 total. So if you are able to make a down payment of 20%, then you are going to pay not more than 1600 to 1700 at most in terms of the principal and interest, along with your property taxes and your home insurance, as well as the HOA fee of $75 per month. So think about it, right? Like this is an example where you are able to get almost a brand new house for this particular amount, and you are basically paying less than the amount of a rent that you would be paying for a similar sized house. And now suppose you are saying that, okay, I don't have 20%. In that case, maybe you have 5%. I think FHA loan, you can have as little as 3.5%, but let's start with 5%. So even with 5% down payment, if you are eligible, you should be able to get all in by like $2,000, which is a very decent and very nice amount to become a homeowner, so that you don't pay over, like this will be fixed for the life of the loan. So your rent does increase, right? But this number is not going to increase. It will stay static till the lifetime. So this is again one of the properties that I wanted to show you, which has an assumable FHA loan, which you can buy as a first-time homeowner. And if you have not bought any property in the last 3 years, you should be able to get through this. It should not be a big deal. You'll be able to get eligible for this particular loan. Now look into the next property, which is in Clemmons. The property is listed at $390,000, a little higher price point. And this property is also almost a newer property. It does not have like it's built in 2023. It's been on the market for last 35 days. It's 2,500 square feet. So it's a quite a big size property. You can see in the pictures also, interior pictures also looks very nice, all furnished properly. So this is a good to move in property again. And based on the monthly cost breakdown, it shows like 2,300 depending on like 20% down and 6.65. But this property I've noted down is offered as a VA loan. So the current owner must be a veteran. So again, this is something usually if you are a veteran, then only you will be able to qualify. But there are some cases where the veterans forego their option to get another loan. So in that case, they can completely transfer that. I don't know if that is the case with this one, but usually if you are a veteran and if you're interested, I'm sure this must be around 5 to 6% because this was last purchased in 2024 and the rates were like between 5 to 6% at that time. So if you, by assumption, I assume that it should not be more than 5 or 5.25. So based on that, if you're a veteran, then still it is less than $2,000 for your monthly outflow or mortgage and interest and taxes, even though if you are paying 20% of down payment. If you suppose don't have 20%, again, I'm going by 5%, in that case, you definitely end up in paying more, but you can still be all in into this kind of house for less than $20,000 and still pay 2,500 for almost a brand new 4-bed, 3-bath in a great neighborhood in Clemmons, which is next to Winston-Salem. So this is the second property I wanted to show you. Now let's move on to the third one. The third one is this one, the Riverdale Drive in Greensboro, 4-bed, 3-bath. And this is little older property. You can see that the square foot is like 1,700 square foot area. And this was built in 2001. So again, it's a little bit dated, but the house, if you look into the pictures, it doesn't look bad. Like, again, there might be some deferred maintenance required, but still you can move in. It's still a livable house. And they have recently decreased the price also. That means they seem to be motivated to get this thing through. Now, the deal with this particular house is, see that this is still sub 300,000 and it is 4-bed and 3-bath, like it's a good sized house. And if you see the loan here, this one is also a VA loan. So again, unless you are a veteran, you may not be able to qualify for the assumption of the loan. But still, if you are, suppose you are a veteran, then this one is at 5.875. So you see that currently at 6.65, it's 1,800. But if you make it 5.875, then the value reduces to less than 1,700. And again, if you are not able to pay 20%, if you just go for 5%, then it definitely brings it way a little bit up, like $2,100. So $2,100 you can get into this house with like less than $15,000 down payment. And again, this is also a nice sized house. It doesn't need a lot of work, and you can see that it has an in-law suite as well, and like it has a newer roof. So again, major maintenance may not be needed in this particular house. So next, the last one is the one which I really like that, and the reason why I'm saying is that the last house which I'm going to show you has the best value, and this house is the mahogany one. Where is that? This one. All right, so this house, if you see that, this is also a 4-bed, a 3-bed, 3-bath, and 2,600. The area is big, and this is under in Thomasville, which is again in part of the Triad area. And they've also reduced the price. That means they are motivated to get this thing through. And you look into the pictures, right? This is all fenced yard. Looking into the pictures, you don't see anything major maintenance required. But again, those things can be revealed once you get through the inspections. But at this point, you see that the property is nice. It has a lot of space, and I don't think it needs any major renovation or anything. Like, it's all good to go. So for this house, at the current rate, if you see the monthly breakdown at the current rate, you almost end up in paying $2,523 with 20% down. Suppose this one is actually has very low interest rate of 3% FHA. So if you have 3% FHA, you see that it just drops down to 1,700. So think about it, like this is such a big house. You're going to get it at the payment of 17 or 1,800 per month, including everything. Except for utilities for sure. But if you are able to make a down payment of $84,000, you are going to pay only 1,800 per month till the next 30 years, and you still enjoy this big sized house in the area of Thomasville. So that's why I'm telling you that this is one of the best opportunities if you're still on the edge and still have not made any decision yet on what kind of house and when to buy a house. These are the opportunities just staring at you. If you have not made up your mind, this is the time, because if somebody understand this thing, they will definitely not delay and will be able to grab this opportunity to purchase this house. Again, work with a realtor who has knowledge and experience in dealing with this kind of loan terms. You can reach out to me, you can call me, text me. I'll be able to help you in making those decisions. And again, if it is not good for you, I'll say don't buy it. But if it is good for you, I'll say go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, somebody else is going to take that opportunity. And so thank you again for watching and listening. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll be happy to help you in making those purchase decisions. Have a great rest of your day.